Hi. Okay, so today is part 1 of our 6-part series on keeping fitness simple.
Yeah, we want to make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck and the time frame while you're in the gym. Most people don't have 3 to 6 hours to spend in the gym every day. So if you're in there, you want to make sure you're getting the results you want. And this series will start out with back training, some good tips on your back training, and we will have Kate do the talking today.
All right, so we're going to do a bent over dumbbell rear fly, and we're going to be focusing on rear delts for this exercise. And we want to make sure, first of all, that we are not swinging like a banshee, and that we are not rounding our backs, we're not humpback whales, we're not Quasimodo over here. We want to make sure we have a nice straight back and a nice neutral spine, which means you don't need to look in the mirror. Just keep your head nice and straight forward, and then we're just going to do a slight range of motion on this because the rear delts are a very small muscle group, so they don't need a lot of range of motion there. So something really helpful is make sure that you're driving back with your elbows, and it's good to feel like you're almost pushing out. So we're going to keep our pinkies up, almost like you're pouring out a jug of water. That seems to really help engage the rear delts a little bit better. Keep the motion slow and controlled. You don't have to go super heavy on this at all because it's a smaller muscle group. We don't want to be engaging all the other muscles in your upper back. So just keeping it nice and on the lighter side, and then doing just slow, controlled reps, really keeping that concentration in those rear delts. Bent over dumbbell rows. So first of all, we want to make sure that you know how to actually use the bench for stability when you're doing this, which means that you're not going to lay on it, you're not crawling on it, you're not relaxing on it. You're going to make sure to say, this is our example, we're going to be using the left hand, the left side, that's what we're going to be working, so you want to make sure that your right arm and your right knee are on the bench and that you're really holding yourself stable. Now, don't hunch. There's no rounding of the back here. There's no swinging, no craziness with the dumbbell. We want to make sure that it's very controlled. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the back nice and straight. And we're going to have a neutral spine going through the neck, which means you don't need to check yourself out in the mirror. You look fabulous. Don't worry about it. When you're grabbing the weight, make sure that when you bring it back, that you're really driving back the elbow and you're bringing the dumbbell all the way back to your pocket. So, think about it like you're putting it in your pocket. It's going to your hip there. So we want to make sure that you have a nice contraction right there on the side lat as we're bringing it back. Again, with that nice neutral spine and keeping that back nice and flat, really slow, controlled, contracted. There's a time and a place for swinging. This is not it. We want to make sure that you're really getting that mind-muscle connection in your back. Good job. So deadlifts can be really intimidating, but they shouldn't be. So if you're doing it correctly, then you won't be at risk for injury. So now what Chris is doing is he's standing with his feet shoulder width apart. And he's going to reach down, bend at the knees, and he's going to grab the bar, and he's going to hold it just outside of his knees. He's going to make sure that he keeps his back straight and not bending in any weird ways. And he wants to keep his spine aligned, so we're going to try to look up or at least look forward. Because again, we want to keep that spine nice and straight. So he's going to contract to really hold it as he stands up. And then slowly lowering it back down. Good job, Chris. All right, so we're doing an iso row machine, and basically what you want to do is keep your chest on the pad. You want to make sure that your back is straight and that it's flat and that you're not rounding forward or your head's going forward. So you want to stay up, upright, look forward. You're going to grab the row, and we're doing this in a neutral grip. So when you're bringing this back, you want to make sure that you are working with the elbow and not your hand. So the idea is that the elbow is going to come back behind your back and around and really going to get those lats. So we're focusing on your lats today. You don't want to swing, and you always want to make sure that you keep your chest on the pad so that you don't hurt yourself. Nice, steady, slow, controlled movements so that you can really feel that contraction in the lat going down your back. Good little robot. So first of all, you want to make sure that you're using a weight that you can actually work with. You want to make sure that you keep the bar straight, that you're not struggling, that you're not leaning too far back, and that you're keeping it controlled. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is sit up tall. We want to put our head back, chin up. It's very important because we want to keep all these muscles contracted. You're going to pull your shoulder blades together, and then you're going to bring the bar down to your chest, slow and controlled, give it a nice squeeze at the bottom, and slowly release to the top. The goal here is to make sure that we keep our muscles in our back engaged and that we're not hurting ourselves or just swinging weight just to swing weight.
Weekend errands. You've navigated the...
Good job, Chris. Baseballs. Okay, so first we're going to show you what not to do. So Chris, if you could go ahead and show us. You don't want to do a half motion and you don't want to pull it down too far. You don't want to keep your head down. You want to make sure that you get a full contraction. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, keep your head up, and when you bring your arms back, you want to make sure that your hands come up to your ears and that you keep your elbows up. And you want to nice, slow contraction right here in the back. You want to make sure that your scapulas are contracted and that you're really getting a nice, tight squeeze in the back.
I don't
Why?
like it. I just don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Yeah. Brace like this. Kate Holiday will walk us through all of these.
Why do you have to say my last name? Why can't you just say Kate here who's going to walk us
Kate
through?
Holiday is like so much more fucking like, for some reason you have a
Yeah, but
whole
it makes me sound like I don't know. I don't
special
like it.
guest.
Yeah, like I'm a special fucking guest.
You're always
And
special
I'm a
to
fucking
me, baby.
co-owner.
Always special to me. You're the fucking COO.
That's right, I am the coup.
Cool. All right, let's do it.
Without, shit.
See, I can't not do this.
Come here. Hi,
Just restart.
yeah, doing this.